Hey guys, welcome back to Words Are Tough. This is a very special episode, number 10. So we're in the double digits finally. We'd like to thank you guys all for coming along on this journey with us. It's been fun so far. My name is Jose Rodriguez, and I have my co-host,
David D. Okendo.
And we have some listener questions that we would love to tackle on this special occasion of episode number 10.
Yeah, I mean, the idea kind of came about because... I guess, like I said in the previous episode, we're kind of building the plane while we fly it, or we're building the boat while we sail it, or we're it's a work in progress. You're literally seeing the podcast develop as we go. But, we have ideas about like having guests and such, but I'm more of a fan of like, hey, you guys watch because of our interactions or our dialogue. And like the guests are sort of like the cherry on top, but I wouldn't want to be overly dependent on guests because then we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. And another dynamic, like I really in my previous podcast, Triotonic Podcast, shout out to them and myself.
Yeah, shout out to myself.
Yeah, shout out to myself and the others. We had a lot of guests, but what would happen is we'd end up planning 2 episodes on a day or two weeks apart, and one will fall through. Next thing you know, the next person, there's an issue, so you could go a whole month without doing an episode based on your guest's schedule. Yeah. So I kind of like, the less, back to like even the music stuff I was saying, the less cooks in the kitchen, you could definitely get a lot more done productivity-wise. So that's definitely a drawback. But yeah, I mean, we want to do some inclusive stuff. As many questions you guys have for us, email us, leave it in the comments. We're going to try to incorporate that into all the episodes.
Or Instagram, if you follow us on Instagram. And
yeah.
Slide in those DMs. All the platforms.
Yeah.
But this is sort of inspired by Inside the Actor Studio, where I think he's long passed away, but the host would ask the actor like, a handful of questions towards the end, but literally this whole episode just be us asking each other kind of not random. I mean, we wrote them down questions, and then maybe I guess you guys can pick one or a few, and you can put that in the comments of like, what's your favorite? Fill in the blank. I don't know, but actually, I was gonna ask this and I have my own thoughts, but I'm kind of curious because I have my particular sort of like things that I eat, aka diet. But best sandwich, what do you think?
Okay, so we're starting off on the sandwich. Well, this specific sandwich, I liked prosciutto. So okay. I'm a big fan of prosciutto, and at this deli, I work in Hawthorne for my day job, and during the construction last year, the construction foreman went out and bought everyone lunch. I guess one of the last days he was there, and he went to this Italian deli, and they made on a roll, and it's pretty, like mozzarella, prosciutto, lettuce, tomato. It was almost like a prosciutto sandwich, like club sandwich. Okay. And to be honest, that's like on the top of my list right now lately.
I just realized you say Hawthorne.
Yeah, Hawthorne.
Growing up, I used to. I didn't used to like growing up. People used to say Hawthorne. Yeah. And it would bother me. And to this day, people still say Hawthorne. And I'm like, it's H-A-W. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. But still to this day, people say Hawthorne, like Hawthorne. Anyway. Yeah. when I came up with this question, like best sandwich, is it like best sandwich ever or best sandwich for me or what defines best? But I just decided I kind of have 2 best sandwiches. One that I can eat all the time, no matter what day, whatever, what time, and one I truly enjoy eating. The best sandwich I can eat anytime, whenever, is probably BLT. Okay. It's a very basic sandwich. But my best sandwich I can eat, that is like the best sandwich I've ever eaten, was probably a Cuban sandwich.
Nice.
I can eat a Cuban sandwich. I can eat... I mean, not all the time because it's really filling and, hearty. But, yeah, I think Cuban sandwiches are probably the best sandwiches ever.
Nice. Yeah, that's a very good choice. We had one. We went down to Key West, and we're really close there to Cuba and stuff like that. So they were really off the chain, and we got it at like you go down the street, you get like a ham and cheese at the store.
Yeah,
like that's how we got the Cuban there.
Yeah,
it was
it's just a deli.
Yeah, it is top notch because it's so close. I guess all the they're all Cuban there and stuff.
I guess the closer you get to Cuba, the better the sandwiches are.
Yeah,
I guess
there's a few things like that too. Like closer you get to South America, but yeah. So aside from that, I'll throw in my common sandwich too, since you threw one that's like that you can eat whenever. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt a little bit, but we have some special words from our new sponsors. And David, you could take it away on our new on board.
Thank you. So this episode is sponsored by Nbox, a modern mailing center designed to meet the security needs of our time. Whether it's shopping for our favorite products or paying monthly bills, statistics show a transition to online convenience. It's quick and simple, which is why we love it. Unfortunately, it's created a new kind of criminal that seeks to steal your identity or take packages right from your porch. At Nbox, your postal mail isn't delivered to a mailbox that thieves can access in order to discover your private information. Instead, your mail is scanned and uploaded to a secure app you can access from anywhere in the world. You control what's opened, forwarded, shredded, or discarded with just a few clicks. Sweeten the deal, you no longer have to worry about ordering expensive items online, only to have them sit in front of your residence unattended. Simply shop online as you normally would, and ship everything directly to their secure facility. You'll receive an instant arrival notification so you can stop by for pickup or arrange a custom delivery at a time when you're home to receive it. As a listener, we're almost there, you can enjoy $5 off the lifetime of your subscription to an Nbox package plan when you enter tough words without spaces at checkout. That's tough words. Visit www.nboxdelivers.com to learn more.
Awesome. Yeah, we want to say thank you so much to Nbox. The service is awesome. I love that what they're doing, and it's in the Voorhees area. We're going to put the description to the website so you know what service area they offer these services to. And it's definitely a step ahead in the direction of securing your privacy and security of all your valuable stuff. So I really am thankful to them to joining us on this journey, and definitely looking at their services for future use. And the other two sponsors that we have are, number one is Rick's Barbershop. I have the bottle here. If you're in the Garfield area, if you need a haircut, anything like that, definitely shoot email to them. I have the website in the description as well. And the third sponsor, our Day One, Premier Rank Marketing. If you have any website services, you need any advertising on Facebook, Google, TikTok even, they're expanding their horizons always. Reach out to Premier Rank Marketing or us, and they are offering a 10% discount as well if you come through the show. So, if you want us to reach out for you, just reach out through the email, and we can hook you up with them. So thanks so much for this little interruption, and back to the show. When I was in high school, being that I played a lot of sports, my go-to every day was a tuna sandwich. And you just throw a slice of cheese in there if you're feeling saucy that day. But tuna sandwich. I love tuna. I can have it every day.
I can't eat tuna sandwich.
Yeah, but also you got to be careful on that mercury level.
There's that.
Yeah.
The reason I can't eat a tuna sandwich because it's one of those like childhood, when you get triggered or a horrific thing happened as a child and you just triggered your whole life.
Yeah.
I was at a picnic and a family friend gave me a tuna sandwich, and this particular family loved mayonnaise.
Okay.
And it was pretty much just a mayonnaise sandwich with some tuna in it.
With tuna chunks.
And I just hurled, I just vomited. And ever since then, I can't eat a tuna sandwich. Even though I know it's not the tuna, it was the mayonnaise, but still, like, it's just, I can't do it.
Yeah, there's definitely tuna. There's dry tuna. There's wet tuna out there. It's definitely, that was, like you said, it was like mayo with little tuna pulp,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's, I'm a tuna guy. What can I say? Yeah, so we'll just go down these questions. I'm going to throw one right back at you. Being that, we're all more engaged in our phones, and our phones are becoming way more powerful these days. You get so much done. Like, a lot of the work I do is through my phone. So sometimes my girlfriend will be upset and be like, oh, you're always on your phone. You're not paying attention to the show we're watching. And I'm like, I'm kind of half working over here, so I'm sorry about that. But
you work 24/7.
Yeah. But a lot of the phone usage, there's a lot of like new apps coming out, and it's just ramping that up. Like, that's their goal, to just keep you on the phone and engaged. Mm-hmm. So what kind of phone apps do you use, and which one takes up most of your attention these days?
I would say just my top app is probably just my YouTube app. I use that probably the most when it comes to, like, of course, podcasts, or when it comes to audiobooks. I'm mostly on YouTube, and I also have the Prime or Premium, whatever, where you can turn it off but it's still playing.
Yeah.
Or music or stuff like that. So I'm mostly on YouTube. Like, if you see my, like, what are you on the most? It's probably YouTube is probably the top, and then maybe like Instagram is right below that. I mean, there's like my email, but I don't my Gmail or I have like 3 or 4 different email addresses because of like my personal email, my job, my like art career email, but probably those top 3, like YouTube, Instagram, and a bunch of like my email apps.
Nice.
Nice. So, but nothing like Netflix or anything. When it comes to movies, stuff like that, I have to watch it on a larger screen.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have YouTube Premium as well, and it is a game changer. Not only with audiobooks, but also like I do like I said in previous episodes, a lot of marketing for companies, and a lot of these like lectures and things that I watch and tutorials. I tend to like watch it along while I'm doing it. Yeah. So, you can't do that if you don't have YouTube Premium. Mm-hmm. So, it really comes in handy there. Same thing like back in the day when I used to drive Uber, I would listen to a lot of these lectures while I'm doing Uber. You can't really do that because you got to look at the map. Yeah. So it's really come in handy. I tell people that it's a game changer. Sometimes they don't get it because they like literally watch YouTube while they watch it. So they're like, why do I need to shut it off?
Right. And also I get distracted pretty easy. I get annoyed when I'm like listening to something and I'm really in it, and then like, oh, commercial or an advert or whatever. Yeah. And I think that YouTube Premium is, I don't know, it's worth the, I don't know, $4.99. I forgot, $5.99 a month, I think.
Yeah.
I'm fine doing that. I mean, it's little, but it's a thing that I'm use almost all the time is probably.
And I have a life hack that I pay only $1 for my YouTube Premium.
How?
Maybe you shouldn't get into pirating, but if someone wants to reach out to me, it is technically legal.
It is legal, okay.
So just reach out to us, leave a comment if you want me to help you out with that, and I'll definitely let you know off of the thing. But aside from that, I guess like I have 2 apps that I want to shout out just because of the marketing work I do. For anybody that's trying to like, they have their own business, they don't have money to pay for any marketing, I'll give you a little hookup. You want to use mainly Canva is a really good app that they have a lot of stock templates, and you can just basically like use some of those, change around the pictures, tap into your creative side, change some colors around, change the text, and make it your own.
My art students use Canva for like quick assignments. Like, hey, you have this assignment is due like in an hour, and they'll use Canva.
Yeah, it's a really great tool, and you can use it on your phone. I've been using it, I would say like maybe 5-6 years, and it was kind of like a best kept secret. A lot of restaurants don't know about it. Still, I don't know how people don't know about it, but they're growing really fast, and they have like commercials now. So that will be, really, everyone's gonna know about Canva soon. But another thing I want to tell you, I don't want to like put myself out of business, but but if you look, there's other companies who also sell like packets of templates. Like, let's say if you're a law office, you can search like Canva templates, and they'll sell like a $19.99 pack of 100 templates with like quotes and, like profiles so you could put all the different lawyers. And, it's just really awesome tool. And aside from that, I use InShot, which is like a video editing tool. That's another one that like a lot of people know about now, but I used for years and people didn't really know about it. But yeah, if you need to do any video work, it's very easy, user-friendly to work with. And then my last app is a guilty pleasure app, chess.com.
So I'm like YouTube, Instagram, and you're just like all these.
Yeah, I have chess.com is like my guilty pleasure. I play a lot of chess, and especially during the pandemic, it ramped back up. But I play speed chess, so sometimes like when I'm doing marketing work, it becomes mundane, like post after post after post. So I'll just do like one company's post and then just like play a quick 1 minute game of chess. And it's kind of like
gotta learn chess.
Wipes the slate clean, Same thing at work when you feel like you don't want to be at work.
Yeah.
It's a couple two 1 minute games in there, go to the bathroom real quick. It's definitely that's
I guess it like helps you reset with what you're doing. The next question, I mean, we could keep talking about apps, but the next question is, what's one thing you own that you really should throw out?
Ooh, that's a tough one because I'm one of those people, like I love getting new things, okay. but I don't throw out a lot of my current stuff. Like the reason why I have to throw out my current stuff is because I buy new stuff and there's no space for it. That's really the signal for me to throw stuff out. But personally, I would say old computers that I have still laying around. I still have like a computer that I had since high school. Like I still have the tower in my garage.
I might need it just in case. Are you the just in case person?
It was just no. It's just for me. It's like maybe in the future it'll be really easy for me to extract the data off of this. So it's like I just save it because the hard drive's in it, and I've had some friends that have reached out that do computer work, and they're like, I could do this for you, but I don't really feel comfortable having someone extract it from me and having that information,
Yeah, and maybe you forgot what's in it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, that makes sense. So pretty much a bunch like computer stuff or old technology things that you've been holding on to.
Yeah, music wires, cables, like, if I know it definitely doesn't work, I'll throw it out. I'm not like a cable hoarder or anything like that.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely leftovers or foods that I planned to eat and then I never did, and then it's somewhere in the back of my fridge, and it's not disgusting in any way, but that's usually the main things I need to throw away. Is like sometimes I'll buy produce and I'm like, oh, I need to buy this produce, I need to buy this lettuce, and I just completely forget to like use it for whatever reason, and then like it just gets tossed. I mean, I put it in my compost, which is not a bad thing, but yeah, it's good to not just like have things around. I mean, I'm pretty good at being a minimalist. I have a set amount of shirts. I have a set amount of pants. If I do, this is my rule. If I buy one thing, just say pants, I have to donate two.
Okay.
So I have to really like that pair. And so that's like my sort of rule. If I get a shirt, I mean, you gave me a shirt now, not if I'm given a shirt, but like if I buy a shirt, I need to be prepared to donate two.
Okay. Cool.
Which helps me like really like gauge, do I really want this thing? So that's a way of sort of I minimize or not get clutter. My pet peeve is clutter. I don't like things just there because it's there. Like, oh, why is this there? I'll ask my fiance, why is this there? I don't know, just in case. I'm like, that's like saying just in case is my kryptonite. I hate it. I hate either you have it for a reason or don't have it at all, but don't just have something somewhere just to like you have an AC there because you need the AC there. It's not there because maybe you might need to use it. It's like it's there because you're definitely going to use it. That's me though. Like I hate just buying a pair of sneakers and like, oh, just in case if I feel like wearing something red. Like, no, like, yeah. That's I don't know. Like that's a bit of like a thing. I just don't like having. I'm not saying I don't have clutter. I just hate having clutter, and I'm not perfect at it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll be good at being a minimalist, but not yet.
All right. So speaking about being a minimalist, let's go to like a very basic element. What do you prefer, flat or sparkling water?
As an adult, sparkling.
Nice.
As a child, flat. I don't know why this is, but when I was a kid, I found carbonated beverages like uncomfortable to drink. Not painful, just like I don't know. I didn't like the sensation. Mm-hmm. As I get older, I much prefer like carbonated beverages. It doesn't have to be soda or anything, but it could just be water or I just prefer carbonated.
Definitely. I've always been a sparkling fan, but I know my girlfriend hates it. Like she's totally against it, and she showed me a meme or told me something about that sparkling water tastes like static. Like if static were a liquid,
if I was as a kid, I can say I agree with that.
Yeah.
Or that feeling of like your hand goes numb, goes dead, and that tingly feeling, I guess. But as an adult, I don't know. Maybe my sensations, my sensitivities change.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I prefer sparkling everything. And knowing that, when you go to a restaurant and you ask for sparkling, especially if you're on a date tip for guys, always order sparkling because you look fancy. You just look more established when you ask for like sparkling water because they bring out the bottle, they open it, pour it. It just looks more posh, I suppose.
Yeah.
Just the presentation looks better than like a flat just jug of water.
My other concern too with flat is like if they just go use like sink water,
Yeah, I used to work at restaurants. That's a thing.
Yeah, so sparkling, I know it usually comes like packaged and things like that.
It's a bottle,
so,
you know exactly that. You hear the crack of the cap and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I just go with the safe option. I've never been a fan of like I guess I don't know exactly how to call it, but just I guess like faucet water. Just maybe in the areas I've lived in, it's been like kind of
skeptical, questionable.
Yeah, questionable.
Maybe a few unscrupulous politicians on top of the water supply.
Yeah, so
like Newark, I'll throw. Yeah. Newark did not do a very good job with some of their pipes. I think they fixed it, or they were like 2-3 years ago. There's a huge pipe issue or 2 years ago in Newark. So yeah, I mean I love Newark, but I bottle water for me, sparkling.
Yeah, me too.
What's another one? Okay, simple apples or oranges.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I would go with apples for me. Just because the lack of needing to peel it, and not that I'm lazy about it, but also my hands get sticky, and that's one of the things I hate the most, getting my hands sticky. Apples, you could just eat them, discard them, and it keeps the doctor away, So.
Yeah. Well, I like both. I like oranges because it's great like a summer fruit, like because it's juicy and it can be kind of like I guess you can say savory or whatever, but I say apple because of the convenience, and I could eat an apple while driving. I'm going to steal this from Stephen Colbert. You can put peanut butter on apples and other things on apples like chocolate and stuff like that, which you can't really do with an orange. You got to be really selective on like what you put on an orange. I don't know what else you would put on an orange other than what do you put on an orange? I forget. I don't know, but apples because it's more.
Oranges get more like put in stuff.
Correct. Yeah. They don't put anything on an orange.
Yeah. Apples are like little dishes.
Dishes. But yeah, my go-to is definitely crunchy. It was crunchy peanut butter with apples, and I can eat that all night.
Yeah. You know what though? Orange juice though. I'd take over apple juice.
Orange juice is better than apple juice.
Yeah.
If you're an adult and you're drinking apple juice, what are you doing? Like you have to be the 10 or below. If you're 10 or below, you can drink apple juice. But no, if you're an adult, you should not be drinking any apple juice.
Yeah, and most of my mid to late 20s was dominated by my drink of choice at that time, which was gin and juice. So I would drink orange juice and gin, which I do not I mean, it's very great. Have some, but try it. But being that you have a couple drinks a night,
gin is an alcoholic beverage, by the way, for the underage individuals.
Yeah, and so orange juice. Yeah, orange juice in your belly at night. Usually, you drink late at night, so you go to bed with a stomach full of orange juice. It's not very good. So keep the gin and juice to a minimum.
Yeah, no. Yeah, honestly, I can't even say I ever tried gin.
Oh, really?
I can say that with delicious. I don't remember ever drinking gin ever.
Yeah, that's my favorite. With ginger ale's good, gin and ginger. I'll tune down my alcoholism a second. Let me pick another question. Okay, so now we could switch it up. We had some food questions and things like that. Yeah. The next one is, what is the scariest animal in your opinion?
Scariest animals for me?
Yeah, for you, and yeah.
I would stick to, I'm not really scared of many animals as an adult. I mean, there's animals I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go over there. Or, hey, I'm going to respect that animal's space. More out of just like, hey, it's just dumb. But I'm never like afraid. I guess, I'll stick with my childhood. It was probably a shark.
Sharks. Okay.
It's definitely more of an irrational fear or irrational scary. As an adult, I kind of view sharks as somewhat beautiful. Like I just find, as in like I find their the fact they've been around for so many years and without very little to no change is pretty remarkable and kind of beautiful. But as a child, I think my scariest animal would probably be a shark. As an adult, like for example, I'm not afraid of a chimpanzee. I don't think they're scary, but I know for a fact that chimpanzee can easily kill me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say they're scary. They're kind of cute, actually, some of them. But I think a scary animal will probably be a shark, even though I'm more likely to get killed by a chimpanzee before a shark, though.
Yeah, and speaking of that, not to go off topic, I watched this doc on HBO called I forgot the name of the chimp, but it was the human chimpanzee. Definitely, you should check it out if you're interested. And it was basically some doctors that had a chimp that lived with them, and they taught it sign language. So it was like an experiment, but it was about the later half of its life that they didn't expect. They'd have to eventually return it to the wild, and they never thought about that. It never learned the skills of living in the wild, and it's pretty wild. Wow. They have this girl that would clean their house, and she would secretly talk to it. It became attached. They moved to Africa. She gave up her studies and lived there for it's wild. Wow. You guys got to watch it. But for my animal, I would have to say a bear, just because it's kind of the only thing. I'm more scared of let's say cougars and things like that, but there's not many around this area in New Jersey. We do have some bears, so that's always kind of been in the back of my mind. I could be in Ramapo and come across a bear.
Black bear.
Yeah. So
I think did you see that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? I was gonna say Inception, but there's no bears in Inception. Revenant.
Yeah. Yep. That was one of my favorite movies that he's done recently.
So this is maybe I'm gonna go a little bit political here, but this is one reason I don't like Governor Murphy, the governor of New Jersey. Mm-hmm. He actually banned the hunting of bears, and the issue with that is that bears don't have natural predators. So what happens? They just continue making babies and continue being bears everywhere. And around where I live, people have to chain down their garbage cans because at night they know exactly what areas in the township they're gonna do garbage, and you put garbage overnight. They'll go schedule into your garbage and they just know where to go. And some people, they'll chain down the lids so bears won't go into the garbage and make a ruckus. And bears are if you ever go hiking, this is what I do sometimes. If you ever go hiking, I'll actually grab rocks and I'll click on or bang rocks together as I'm walking once in a while, because usually a lot of times bear attacks happen when you sneak up on them by mistake. And they get startled and they attack you, and most black bears will run away. most. But it happens. They bear maulings do happen
if they're hungry. Yeah, if they're hungry enough. Yeah. And when it comes to animals, I don't know. They have all these great documentaries. Like I don't know if you've ever seen the one that guy that lived he lived with the bears and that one's a little tragic.
He's like, get out of here, bear. Oh, what did you? Oh no, he was talking to a fox. He's like, give me my hat, fox. Give it back. And I'm like, this guy is not. He's gonna die.
Yeah, and he
does sadly.
There's like a time frame where it's like after this point, the last bear's out. They're not hibernating because they haven't eaten enough, and they're trying to get the last bit of food. Yeah, they're desperate. They'll eat anything. So you shouldn't be here. And he decides.
I think it's called Bear Man. Werner Herzog He didn't make the documentary. He got the footage and made a documentary off of the footage. And then the part where he actually had the guy. I forgot his name, but he actually had the cap on the camera lens. Filming while he was getting attacked by the bear, and you hear everything.
Yeah.
And he heard the audio and told, I guess it was the latest of kin or his girlfriend or whomever at the time. He said, no one should ever listen to this audio ever. You should destroy it. I guess it was just that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Bears are pretty terrifying. I might actually change I think I might change my with shark to bears because I'm way more likely to encounter a bear before I encounter a shark. I hate swimming, by the way.
Yeah, and
in the ocean.
the one thing too about the animals, like not to get too into the animals, but if you look at the animal structure, like like the apex predators, it's crazy when you dive deep into it that they're all necessary. Like you have to have those bears out there, you have to have those sharks and whales. They all contribute to the full ecosystem, with like distributing, like the coral reefs and like nutrients to them, eating the other smaller fish, which would destroy the other smaller fish. Like it's a crazy system how nature has set itself up, and it's like scary and beautiful at the same time. It's very interesting. Okay, but now we have some other questions.
Is it me or you? I think it's
you.
Oh, I go. This is a silly question. It's pretty much a yes or no question. Have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
I don't believe I have.
Me neither.
Yeah, I'm not a. Oh, you know what? I'm lying. I had one time. I went to go see Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Okay.
Wrestle in Clifton. Yeah, rest in peace. And I do have that autographed figurine in my garage.
Wow.
And it's like it's got like a backdrop on it, and he signed it.
Yeah. It's probably one of the first guys I saw on TV, and he was just jacked, just literally flying. And my first thought was, oh, he looks like me.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's like the first brown flying man I've seen.
I was like, oh, he has like hair kind of like me, a little bit. Well, he had kind of a bit of like a Jerry curl kind of thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I don't know if it was natural or not, but because I always had very curly hair, I was like, oh, that's like my hair. But yeah, it's I mean, if I probably met him, I'd probably ask for autograph as well. But I've never asked anyone ever for autograph.
Yeah. I'm not that. I don't have that in me. I know a lot of my friends that they'll go to like signings and card signings. Yeah. They love to just like meet people.
Yeah, I mean, I met some pretty interesting people and singers, celebrities, actors, or whatever. But like at one time I met Adrian Brody. But my reactions are never like, can I have an autograph? Is more like, oh, hi. It's always just very casual, like, oh, you're a person I've seen on a big screen once or twice or whatever. But it's never like, oh, give me an autograph.
Yeah.
Maybe if in hindsight, I might have, if I ever met Michael Jackson, probably get his autograph, because if he had his autograph now, probably costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that's bad reason to get an autograph. But I think there's definitely not an economy, but there's definitely like a market for like autographs. And
yeah, big time. Especially when it comes to sports, but even like actors and things like that. Like I know people who will have like a headshot of the actor for them to sign, and they'll just pass that off on eBay or something. But I don't know. I think for me it's more like I hate to like bother people, you know, so it's like kind of like I feel like it's annoying to ask someone for an autograph, even though if they love it, you know, like, you know, but that's kind of my outlook, you know, why I don't do it and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of odd is the whole, but what if you like copy someone's autograph? Like, isn't that bad?
Oh, let me ask you this though: have you ever been asked to give an autograph?
I'm not that famous. Well, yes and no. A friend of a friend. I was at an art show. I had an art show, and they liked my work, and I had a notebook, and they said, "Hey, can you write like my name in your calligraphy real quick?" And I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever." It was like back in 2016, and I did it, and I kind of ripped it off, and I gave it to them. And they're like, "You're not gonna sign it?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then I signed it and I gave it to them. But that's probably the only time I signed something for somebody else. Yeah. But that's just proper. You should sign your work if you make it. So yeah. So it's not really giving an autograph. It's more like me signing a piece of artwork, giving it to somebody. Yeah. That might cost a bit of money right now. I don't know.
How did that make you feel when you got asked that? Like, was it like
weird? It just felt weird. Yeah. Just I don't know. Maybe I'm, you know, like for example, I know baseball playing cards are a big thing now. Or it has become a big thing. And making so I don't get it, but I can see why there's a market for it. So similarly, I think signatures or autographs are kind of weird. Like, all right, but I guess there's a market for it, so sure. So, it's just kind of odd for me. I don't know, just kind of.
Yeah, I
get it, but don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I know for myself, like when we, being in a band, when we were younger, let's say around this is like 2005. The band that I was in at that time, it was kind of like what's popular, let's say like in 2008. So we were doing like some music that wasn't really accepted too well. It was still like fresh, you know, and it was like that kind of like screamo type.
Early adopters, like, yeah, hey, this is gonna.
So what happens is you're living in New York, near New York City, you know, metro area. A lot of the times the music there, it takes some time to branch out into like, you know, the Midwest and things like that. And you got to remember also the internet wasn't what it is now back then. You know, it was still more like a little slow drip.
2005, like Facebook just was still kind of not even a thing yet.
Yeah, MySpace was rocking. Yeah. So when we went out on a tour, we went out to like Chicago, down to Texas.
Chicago.
Yeah. And you're close to Chicago, another metro area, but let's say in between there, like when you're hitting Ohio and other parts of Illinois that are not like, you know, they're more like rural. Like you're going to a town and you're playing for these kids and they've like never seen anything like what you just did, you know, and they're just like mind blown and they're buying your album and they're asking you to sign it and you're just like, what? Like, what is
like, I'm just like, I'm just 19, like, yeah, and 20, like, who am I?
Yeah, and it's funny and it's like, you know, also you're grateful. You're grateful for it. Yeah. But it's a lot of weird emotions at the same time.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to, hey, I'm just doing something that I love and I enjoy this. And there is this desire to have my name that I write. I don't know. Okay. It's fine.
Yeah. And yeah, you know, that's also another point in that journey where you decide like, damn, is this like what I want to do? You know, like a lot of, you know, people when they're in the band, they're like, damn, this is like what I want to do for the rest, you know. But if that's not what you're looking for, that's where you realize like, you know, I just like making music. This isn't for me.
Yeah, there's definitely, it's a completely different topic. There's definitely a thing about, oh, I want to be an artist. You fill in the blank. What kind of artist? Like actor, musician, like gallery, commercial artist or whatever. But then when you're in it and then you're selling work and networking and talking to people, that's a whole different, I guess you can say, animal to sort of conquer, to figure out like, oh, okay, this I'm beyond the art making part. Now this is like the other part, the
industry,
social industry, networking, business side. And some people are like, I'm good. I'm gonna go the other direction. I'm gonna do my thing on my own. But other people are like, hey, this is exactly what I want to do. This networking, talking to people, establishing connections, getting from where I am now to where I want to be, and that's both are legitimate.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of times, some of the friends you have that want to make music, they're kind of like, they service the song well, whatever, but they really shine on this latter part, like once you get to that part, then you're like, oh my God.
Like this is why we have this guy. Okay.
It's like, oh, there you go. See? Yeah. So, everybody has their own strong suits, and like sometimes those are the people that finally go through and get to where, and you're like, damn, like, I played sports with this guy, I played music with this guy. He was never the best, he's always great, but never the best, but he had the work ethic and he had the skills for the latter part. Right. That get you to the goal, like.
So it's mingling with people, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the dynamic in the industry, and it's always changing, so it's cool. So we have a couple more questions here, or I think this might be the last one. I'm not sure. This is my turn.
I guess.
So, okay. So you get one song to listen to for the rest of your life.
I had thought about this a lot. And it has to be Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way.
Nice.
Yes.
That's a nice classic.
However, I cry every time I listen to it. So I can only listen to it when I know I'm okay to cry whoever I'm around.
Gotcha.
It's one of those songs for me.
Yeah. I would have to go with a song that is like a classical piece. And it's called Adagio for strings, and it's got like a few numbers and things after it. I'll link it in the description so you guys know exactly which one. But with the classical pieces, it'll be like number 9 in G flat.
Yeah.
So which is it's great. It lets you know what key you're in and stuff. But I don't know exactly right off this moment. But it's the song that was played very famously after the 9/11 attacks.
Okay.
And that's not why I love it, but if you look up, that's the link I'm gonna put because
you're in context.
Yeah. It was a concert of like I guess the London Symphony, and they had like this really big concert where they were gonna perform that song, and it was like 2 days after 9/11, and at this point you don't know like what's going on in the world, so
the news is just this one thing.
Yeah, and then they played it with like a backdrop of like an American flag and stuff like that, and it was just such a like I could say the most emotionally charged like symphonic performance ever because they're all playing and they're all like nobody knows what's going on. It's a terrorist attack, and
this is when people actually supported the United States.
Yeah,
we weren't like so how we are now.
Yeah, and then this performance, like something about it just always like hit me like this is like the pinnacle of symphonic like them playing together and things like that. Even like the leader of I guess the symphony
or the composer.
Yeah, well he's not the composer, but I guess the guy,
you're the music guy, not me.
The composer. The composer. This song was made a long time ago, but it's like the director, I guess.
Okay,
he's directing the symphony. You could tell he's like emotionally, so it was just a great take, and that performance specifically is the one that I like. So I would go with that.
To give you context for mine, one, I've always liked Frank Sinatra's My Way or I Did It My Way. I forget the exact title. I've always liked it as an adult, especially like right when I hit my 30s. It's one of those songs where I've heard before, but didn't really mean anything until I got a little bit older. And then it's a song I actually played to my sister about 3 or 4 days before she passed away. So every time I play it, like just start tearing up.
Yeah, it brings you back.
It's not even. Once I hear that first note, I'm like, okay, here it comes.
Yeah, definitely.
But the last 2 questions, which kind of go hand in hand, is favorite smell and least favorite smell.
Yeah, that one's tough. I've been thinking about that one. I would say with favorite smell, like it's tough for me. Like I would say, like is it more like a perfume or? Like,
it's very broad. It's just favorite smell.
Well, okay, so I would say then I'd go with like something like the smell of laundry, fresh laundry.
Okay.
I like that smell a lot. You know, that's something I smell often. And
for me, it's the smell of pancakes. Just like, and everything that comes with pancakes, like you smell the syrup, you kind of smell the faint whiff of like sugar, like the smell of making pancakes.
Okay.
Is like and it's never like, not like that smell in your face. It's kind of like off in the distance. Like you're in your bedroom and you kind of just get that whiff of pancakes.
Yeah.
That smell.
Gotcha. And then we got our least favorite smell.
Well, I mean, there's the obvious, like, you know, piss or crap. Like,
garbage.
That's the obvious, but least favorite, I guess, then, and not, like, that's sort of the obvious answer. But I guess my least favorite smell would probably be, oh, I know, my body odor. I know it's exactly the smell. I used to have a really, really high protein diet when I was really into like, I mean, I'm still into working out, but I was really into like getting like 300 something.
Putting on mass.
Yeah. What happens is when you have a high protein diet, your sweat has a bit of an ammonia kind of smell to it.
Yeah.
So I was trained jiu-jitsu and I put my sweaty gi in my bag. I left it in my car in the trunk. And then when I took it out of the bag to put in it was this big whiff of like ammonia BO that I actually like got mad at I got mad. If you smell something, you get mad. I got mad and I got confused. I was just like, what? It was just this weird moment of like confusion and mad. And there's nobody there. It was just me and my own BO. And after that, I was like, I need to, one, not leave my gi in my car, and two, I need to calm down with all this protein. So it's not, I can't really describe it other than it's like a very old body odor, ammonia kind of smell. It's probably the worst smell ever smelled.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something that's prevalent in BJJ too, because it's like you got to have a lot of gis to interchange. Some people don't have that money, so they got to wash them all the time. And you know, with the struggle of life with scheduling, sometimes you might forget to wash it or something.
You train at night, you leave it in your car. You wake up in the morning. Oh, it's my
Then you show up to the class the next day and you pull the gi out and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, no. It happens.
Yeah, and they say don't be that guy, but sometimes, you know, whatever. But my least favorite smell, I'd have to say, is when sneakers get really wet and then it kind of gets that like wet, like mildewy smell, and there's really nothing you could do about it, and you try to like wash it and antibacterial it.
It never goes away.
It never goes away. And then you smell it like, and then the thing is you'll wear it and it won't smell. Until but then once
it gets wet,
once you start wearing it in and it's like 4 hours of the shoes on, you smell it and you're like, oh god, these shoes.
Yeah, then your feet smell that same way until you take. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's got to be mine. Then you got to throw them out,
or toss them in the laundry, but then they're never the same again.
Yeah, sometimes there's a point of no return.
Yeah, the rubber just falls off and whatever. But
yeah,
we didn't even get through all the questions, but I think it was a pretty good rundown on like fun facts, points of views that we have. But again, the main goal of it was simply to, I mean, at least for me, when I listen to podcasts or even look at shows like David Letterman or whatever, or Jimmy Fallon or Stephen Colbert, like, we're not those people, obviously. But I'm like more of a fan of like Stephen Colbert than the actual guest. Like, I would still watch it. It was just him talking at the screen. And I think for me, I guess my goal, I don't know if it's the same as yours, but my goal is to have guests but not be dependent on guests.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Then we have this weird because it's something that I want to do on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and you know, have a cool or interesting conversation regardless if there's someone here or not with us. But yeah, or even by ourselves, if we decide, hey, I'm doing one by myself, or you do yours by yourself, there's still something there that, you know, people that watch are interested in, other than, okay, who's the next guest? Oh, it's just you guys? Oh, okay, let me just like skip this one. Like I I'm not saying I want you guys to like us, that would be nice. But it's the guests will be an extra addition to our episodes, but not something that's dependent.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely makes a lot of sense, and I think it'll help. I think the most important factor when it comes to podcasting is consistency.
Yeah.
Making sure we have content for you each week, in and out. That's what some of my family members that know my previous podcast said right away. They're like, "Oh, it looks like you guys are really doing the episodes," because, like I mentioned on my previous podcast, sometimes it would go an episode every 2 weeks, and then the next thing you know, a month goes by.
Yeah. You have like 3 in 1 week, and then the next, then you have nothing for a month.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to do. You don't want to put up 10 episodes in 1 week and then none for 10 weeks.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's a slow, consistent. But consistency is key for pretty much any endeavor, with working out, with dieting, with art, with everything, with school. You just gotta be consistent. You can't go to school for one day and expect to learn everything. This is why you go every day, little by little. This is like, because I know some students are listening to this, so.
I forget that sometimes. So students, I'm sorry about that.
So yeah, I do. I'm well aware that I have students that listen. So yeah, in a way, I am talking to you guys as well, kind of, sort of. But yeah, it's overall, it's one of those things that I truly enjoy. It's not like work to me. So I was like, okay, this doesn't feel like work, so I can keep doing this for a while. It's once it starts feeling like work where, it can start feeling like a burden. And once things start feeling like a burden, you can kind of see it in the product or see it in the episode. Like, oh, like there's no rapport there. This isn't fun. This is just like them going through a script.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Which I don't want. So yeah,
definitely not. So episode 10. Thanks so much, guys, for the Big 10. Thanks so much for checking us out again, and leave some comments below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode. My name is Jose Rodriguez, and my co-host
David Diokendo.
Thanks so much for checking us out, and this was Words Are Tough.
Bye bye.